Welcome back to the deep dive, everyone. We have an a really fascinating stack of materials on the desk today. And I have to be totally honest with you, when I first looked at the headline we're working with today, which is episode 36, the target, I kind of thought we were looking at some sort of corporate strategy document.
It does sound rather serious,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
right. Like
Oh,
maybe a marketing analysis or I don't know, something about archery.
wow.
But as I started actually digging into the notes in the source text, I realized we're dealing with something much more fundamental to how you learn. We're looking at the actual architecture of how we connect with other human beings. We are stripping away all the lofty theory today and getting right down to the actual nuts and bolts of the English language.
It does sound a bit dramatic, I suppose, the target.
Yeah.
It sounds like a spy thriller or a covert operation. But in the context of the English language, and specifically for you, the listener, who is trying to master the mechanics of speaking, it really is the crucial missing link. We are looking at source material today that functions as a masterclass in one very specific and frankly very troublesome area.
Oh, absolutely. It's the area that trips everyone up.
Precisely. Now, technically, if you look in the grammar books, they are called object pronouns. But let's be honest, that sounds incredibly dry.
Yeah, and I actually want to pause right there because object pronouns is exactly one of those terms that just makes your eyes glaze over. It sounds like something from a dusty chalkboard in high school that you immediately forgot the second the test was over. But the way this source material breaks it down is just completely different.
It is a radical departure from the textbook approach, yes.
It's not about memorizing some boring table of words. It's really about understanding energy flow. It's about understanding that a sentence is basically a transfer of energy. And if you don't catch that energy correctly at the end of the sentence, the entire connection just breaks.
That is a rather perfect way to frame it, actually. We are looking at the words me, him, her, us, and them. And whilst these are small words, tiny words, really, they are the literal hinges upon which the entire door of your sentence swings.
And if the hinge is broken?
The door simply falls off. Exactly. The source material highlights a core philosophy that I think we really must start with because it absolutely sets the tone for our entire deep dive today. It's the mantra of connection, not perfection.
Connection, not perfection. I absolutely love that. It takes the pressure off immediately. It reminds me of learning how to dance. You don't need to have perfect posture or perfect form to just enjoy the music and move with your partner. You just need to connect with them.
Precisely. The ultimate goal of any language is simply to transfer a thought from my brain into your brain. If you make a small error, but the thought still arrives intact, we have succeeded. However, and this is quite a massive however in our notes, there is a limit to that imperfection.
Right, there's a line you cross where the connection just fails.
Indeed.
Yeah.
There is a very specific type of structural error that stops that transfer dead in its tracks. It's what the source text describes as a mistake that quite literally hurts the ears.
Hurts the ears. Man, that's such a visceral description. It's not just incorrect on a test. It's painful to hear. It's sort of like hearing a musician hit a terribly flat note right in the middle of a beautiful guitar solo. You physically cringe.
It causes a sudden cognitive stumble for the listener. And that is exactly what our mission is today. That is what we are fixing for you. We are going to look specifically at the words you use after the verb, the target words. Our objective is to completely master the transformation that happens when a person stops being the hero of the story and becomes the object of the story.
Okay, so let's jump straight into the problem. The hook in our notes describes a scenario that I think is just painfully familiar to anyone learning a language. Or honestly, even native speakers do this when they're totally exhausted or flustered. You're in the middle of telling a story, the adrenaline is pumping, you're trying to say who did what to whom, and you just slip. You say something like, I called she, but she didn't hear I.
I called she, but she didn't hear I. Now, I want you to hear that. When you hear that phrase, stop and really think about your reaction to it. You instinctively know something is deeply wrong. The logic is there, of course. You understand who the actors in the story are, but the structure is completely broken. It grates on the listener.
It really does grate. It sounds so clunky. It literally sounds like the gears of the language are just grinding together without any oil. Why is that specific mistake so incredibly common? Like, why do our brains naturally want to do that?
It's common because of a very logical assumption that the human brain makes. The source material refers to this as the labeling fallacy. You see, when you first learn a language, you learn labels. You look at a photograph of a woman and you learn the label she. You look at yourself in the mirror and you learn the label I. These are simply the fundamental identifiers.
Right, right. It's like everyone is wearing a physical name tag. Hello, I am I. Hello, she is she.
Exactly that. So when your brain is rushing to construct a sentence in real time, it tries to be as efficient as possible. It thinks, well, I will just use the labels I already know. I am I, she is she, therefore I called she. It makes perfect logical sense if you view words as static stickers that you just slap onto a sentence.
But it fails grammatically.
Completely. Because English is a morphosyntactic language.
Yeah.
Words must change their physical shape based on the job they are doing in that specific moment.
Their job. I really like that way of putting it. So the word isn't just a static label. It's basically an employee with a very specific role to play in the factory of the sentence.
That is the crucial distinction to wrap your head around. In English, we have subject words and we have target words. If you are the one actually doing the action, you are the subject. You are the protagonist. You are the driver of the car. But if you are the one receiving the action, if the action is happening directly to you, you are the target.
And when you're the target.
And when you become the target,
Yeah.
you must change your outfit. You absolutely cannot wear your subject clothes when you are standing over in the target zone.
Okay, let's unpack this visualization because the source material uses a really, really powerful metaphor right here. It talks about the wall. I think this is going to be incredibly helpful for you visual learners out there.
The wall, yes. This is the central concept for our entire session today. I want you to visualize a sentence, not simply as a random cloud of words, but as a linear timeline. It moves logically from left to right. And right in the middle of that sentence, there is a giant, solid brick wall.
Okay, I'm picturing it. I'm walking down the street in my sentence. Everything is fine. And boom, I hit a massive brick wall. What exactly is this wall?
The wall is the verb, the action word.
The verb is the wall. Okay, I've got it.
Everything that happens before you hit that wall is what we call subject territory. This is the staging ground. This is where you prepare to execute the action. In this safe territory, the words are the ones we all learn first. I, he, she, we. They, these are your doers. They stand before the wall, quite ready to act.
Like, I kick the ball, he eats the sandwich, she calls the taxi. They're the ones initiating all the force.
Correct. I, he, she.
Yeah.
They are generating the raw energy of the sentence. But in order to complete the thought, that energy has to actually go through the wall. The action has to hit someone or something on the other side. And once you cross that wall, once you step into the space after the verb, the rules completely change. The atmosphere is different, and the words themselves must transform.
So you can't just climb over the wall, land on the other side, and stay exactly the same. You have to physically change. It's like passing through a magic portal to another dimension.
You absolutely have to change. If the word I crosses the wall, I instantly becomes me. You simply cannot say, he called I. The word I cannot survive on the other side of that wall. It must transform into me. He called me.
And this is exactly where that hurts the ears feeling comes from. If I say, he called I, it's like seeing someone wearing a bikini in the middle of a blizzard. It's just totally the wrong outfit for the environment they're standing in.
That is a rather perfect analogy. It's a complete mismatch of function and form. So let's slowly break down the specific transformations provided in our source material. We need to be very precise here because these are the literal tools you, the listener, need to put in your toolbox today. We have 5 big transformations to master.
Let's start with the one we just talked about, the self, the first person.
The first person. Before the wall, it is I. After the wall, it becomes me. Think about it. I see him, but he sees me.
That one probably feels pretty natural to most people listening, I think. Me is just such a ridiculously common word. Give it to me. Help me. It's usually one of the very first things people pick up. I mean, babies scream me before they say almost anything else.
They certainly do. But under immense pressure, in the heat of a fast-paced conversation, people, especially adult learners, often revert to using I because I simply feels stronger. It feels much more active. But you must learn to surrender that strength when you are the target. You are receiving the help. Help me. You are passively accepting the action.
Okay, let's move to the next one on the list. This is where it gets a little bit trickier for some folks, especially depending on what your native language is. The male pronoun.
The male form, yes. Before the wall, it is he. He's my friend. He is tall. Notice the sound. It's very open. He. But once he crosses the wall to become the target, he transforms into him. I called him. I see him.
So, he turns into him. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know the source material has a really cool memory peg for this one later on, which we will definitely get to. But let's keep moving through the core list first. What about the female form?
Before the wall, it is she. She is smart. She is working. After the wall, She transforms into her. I called her. We invited her.
You know, I feel like her is a bit easier to remember because it just sounds softer. I don't know, maybe that's just me analyzing it too much, but going from she to her feels like a very distinct, noticeable shift.
It is distinct.
Okay.
But you must be quite careful because her is also used for possession, as in her car, which can severely confuse people. They stop and think, wait, is this ownership or is this the object? In this specific case, the physical form of the word is identical. But for our purposes today, we are only focusing on the target. If the action physically hits the woman, it hits her. I see her.
Got it. Okay, now let's tackle the plural forms. These are the ones that I see trip people up the absolute most. Let's talk about we.
This is indeed a major stumbling block. Before the wall, it is we are happy, we are going. But if the action happens to your group, we becomes us. They saw us. She helped us.
Us. U-S. It's such a tiny little word, but it carries a ton of weight. Join us. Come with us.
Exactly. You would absolutely never say join we.
No way. That sounds like, honestly, it sounds like you're trying to speak some kind of medieval Old English. Join we in the castle, my lord. It just totally breaks the flow of the conversation.
It shatters the flow completely. And finally, we have the third person plural, the group of people outside of your group.
Man.
Before the wall, they. They are here. After the wall, them. I help them. I know them.
Okay, so we have the master list. Me, him, her, us, them. Now, looking at our notes here, there is a very specific memory peg, or a cheat code, really, that the expert in the source material highlights. This is specifically for the words him and them. I just think this is brilliant for anyone who struggles with pronunciation or just naturally forgetting which one is which in the moment.
Ah, yes. This is the M rule. It is an incredibly helpful technique for connecting the physical sound to the grammatical meaning. If you look closely at the target forms for the masculine, which is him, and the plural, which is them, what do you notice about the sound right at the very end?
Well, they both end in M, him, them. It's that deep humming sound.
Exactly. And the source materials strongly suggest using this as a physical anchor inside your own mouth. When you are talking about a gentleman or a group of people and they are the target of the verb, physically close your lips.
Them.
Him.
That is actually so handy. So if I'm panicking mid-sentence and I'm about to blurt out, I called he, I can catch myself and think, wait, it's a guy. I need the M sound. I called him.
Correct. It acts as a somatic marker, a physical cue built into your body. The lips must physically close together. I called him. I saw them. If your mouth is wide open saying he or they, you are in the wrong territory. You are on the wrong side of the wall. You are still standing in subject territory. You need to cross over.
I love little mental hooks like that. It just makes it so much more tactile. Okay, so we have the rules, we have the logic, we understand the wall. But the source material also has this awesome section called the warmth. This is where we step in with some genuinely good news for you. Because honestly, trying to memorize 5 different transformations while you're just trying to order a coffee or chat at a loud party is super stressful.
It is massive cognitive overload for a learner. And this is precisely why the warmth section is so vital to this deep dive. It provides a necessary safety net. The source points out that 2 very common words absolutely never change. They are completely immune to the wall. They can walk straight through the brick wall, and they look exactly the same on the other side.
I love these words. These are the absolute MVPs of the English language. Let's talk about you.
You is the ultimate chameleon word. It functions as both the subject and the object without changing a single letter. Consider the subject. You love coffee. Now the target. I love you.
It's exactly the same word. You before the verb, you after the verb.
Exactly. This provides a massive relief for you, the learner. You don't have to calculate a thing. If you are talking directly to someone, it is always just you.
That's huge. And what about the second one?
The object. The inanimate thing. It. Consider the subject. It is nice. Now the target. I like it.
It stays it, no change at all.
It remains it. So the strategies suggested in our notes is quite brilliant in its pure simplicity. If you find yourself in the middle of a conversation and you feel that familiar panic rising, you suddenly can't remember if it's we or us or they or them, simply pivot the conversation to talk about you and it.
That's incredibly good advice. Just stick to the safe zones until your heart rate goes down and you catch your breath. I like it. Do you like it? I see you. You can keep the entire conversation alive without risking a massive grammatical crash.
It keeps the connection flowing. Remember our opening mantra, connection, not perfection. If you can stay in the flow of the dialogue using you and it, you are absolutely winning. Then, later, when you are feeling confident, you can strike with a him or a them.
Okay, I really think we have the theory totally locked down. We have the wall, subject is on the left, target is on the right. We have the 5 transformations, and we have our safety net. But as we all know, knowing the theory in your head is vastly different from actually being able to do it when the clock is ticking in real life.
Knowledge is certainly not skill. Skill only comes from repeated execution. The source material heavily emphasizes a drill section. This isn't just about you passively listening to us. It's about active generation. We need to accurately simulate the pressure of a real conversation for you.
Right, and the notes specifically mention a 3-second rule. This is a crucial part of the pedagogical constraint here. Why exactly 3 seconds?
Because 3 seconds is roughly the amount of time you have in a natural conversation. Pause before it becomes socially awkward. If you take 10 full seconds to calculate, let me see. He, him, wall, verb. The person listening to you has already checked their phone. You need to be able to make the switch reflexively.
So we're going to run a live simulation right here, right now. We're going to use the exact material provided to create a training loop for you listeners. We are basically going to act as your gym training partners.
Here is precisely how it will work. I will give you the subject word, the person we are talking about. Then I will give you a short sentence starter. Your job, as the listener, is to mentally, or preferably shout it out loud wherever you are, throw that person right over the wall. Turn them into the target.
So if you say, I help, and then give the promptee, the listener needs to shout out, I help him, before we reveal the answer.
Exactly. And we will wait for you. We will give you that 3-second space. It might feel like a terribly long silence on an audio track, but that is your gym. That space is exactly where the muscle is built. Are you ready?
I am so ready. Listener, are you ready? Let's take a deep breath together. Remember the wall in your mind. Remember the M rule. Here we go.
First loop. Focus entirely on the transformation. I will speak quite slowly. The sentence starts with, I help. The person is he.
Take your 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
The answer is, I help him.
Did you get the M sound? Him, I help him. Awesome. Let's just shake that out and try another one.
Let us move to the next one. Focus on the woman. The sentence starts with, we called. The person is she.
You have the 3 seconds. Go.
The answer is, we called her.
We called her. Really nice. Remember, she physically hits the wall and instantly becomes her. Okay, let's up the difficulty just a little bit. Let's go to the plural words.
Focus on your group. The sentence starts with, he found. The person is we.
3 seconds. What's the target?
The answer is, he found us.
He found us. See, that one is super tricky because going from we to us is a totally, completely different sound. There are literally no shared letters there. It's a total flip.
It is indeed. You have to completely discard the word we from your mind and blindly grab for us. Let's do another plural. Remember your physical M rule for this one. The sentence starts with, I know. The person is they.
Say it out loud. 3 seconds.
The answer is, I know them.
I know them. Did you close those lips? You got to feel the vibration.
Let's mix it up now. Let's do a bit of rapid fire. I will give the prompt, and we will move slightly faster. The sentence is, she loves. The person is, I.
3 seconds on the clock.
She loved me.
She loves me. Hey, hopefully that's true in real life.
The next one. Stay focused. The sentence is, they told. The person is, she.
3 seconds.
They told her. They told her, you are doing fantastic. Just keep that rhythm going. It's about not overthinking it, just purely reacting to the wall.
Next. The sentence is, call. The person is, he.
Quick 3 seconds.
Call him.
Call him. Wow, that actually sounds like a direct order. Like, call him right now.
It is an order. And that actually touches perfectly on the outro point of our source material, but let's stick to the physical drill for just a few more rounds to build that muscle. I really want to solidify the distinction between us and them.
Yeah, those are definitely the hardest ones to lock in. Let's alternate between those two.
Very well. Listen carefully to the prompt. The sentence is, she saw. The person is, we.
Change it. 3 seconds.
She saw. Okay, perfect. Now let's completely flip it around.
The sentence is, we saw. The person is they.
Cross the wall. 3 seconds.
We saw them.
We saw them. Can you literally feel the difference in your mouth right now? Us is wide open. Them is clamped closed.
Precisely. Let's try one with our safety net words, just to see if you are actively paying attention to the rules.
Oh, a trick question. I love a good trick question. Let's see it.
The sentence is, I love. The person is, you.
3 seconds. Don't get fooled.
I love you.
Absolutely no change. That was a total freebie. I really hope you nailed that one right away.
Let us do one more safety net check. The sentence is, he likes. The thing is, it.
3 seconds.
He likes it.
He likes it. Super simple. You just walk right through the wall.
Now, let's combine what we've learned into a slightly more complex thought.
Hmm.
I want you to visualize a real-world scenario. You are standing at a party. You see a gentleman across the room. You want your friend to look at him. The sentence is, look at. The person is he.
3 seconds. Say it to your friend.
Look at him.
Look at him. Okay, now imagine you are at that exact same party, and you and your friend are finally leaving. You want to tell the host that the taxi has arrived for both of you. The sentence is, the taxi is here for. The person is, we. 3 seconds. Make the change.
The taxi is here for us.
For us. Notice something interesting there. The word for axed, exactly like the wall, too. It's technically a preposition, not a verb, but it triggers the exact same change.
That is a very astute observation. Technically speaking, prepositions words like for, with, to, and also trigger the target form. With me. For him. To her. It is the exact same underlying rule. If you are receiving the energy of the preposition, you are the target.
So wait, the wall isn't just verbs. It can be these tiny little connecting words, too. That's huge.
Yes. Think of the preposition as a smaller fence. It's perhaps not a giant brick wall, but you still absolutely need to change your shoes to cross over it. Come with me. You would not say, come with I. This is for her, not this is for she.
Man, that expands the playing field so nicely. Let's do a couple of quick preposition drills then, just to really lock that new concept in.
An excellent idea. Let us begin. The sentence is go with. The person is they.
3 seconds, over the fence.
Go with them.
Go with them. Don't go alone.
Next one. The sentence is this present is for. The person is he.
3 seconds.
This present is for him.
For him. Awesome job. I really feel like we're building such a solid foundation here today.
We truly are. And the real key to all of this is maintaining that 3-second rule in your daily life. If you missed any of these during our drill, or if you found yourself stumbling and accidentally saying he instead of him, please do not get discouraged. Remember our primary rule. Connection, not perfection. The mere fact that you are now pausing to think means you are fully aware of the wall. That awareness is the critical first step to mastery.
Awareness is everything. Like before today, you might have just completely barreled straight through the wall without even realizing you were doing it. Now you actually see the wall standing there. You might bump into it. You might climb over it a little clumsily at first, but you know it's there. And eventually, with enough practice, you'll just effortlessly walk through the door.
Exactly. The ultimate goal is to make the target mode completely automatic. When your brain senses a verb approaching or a preposition approaching, it should automatically switch your internal pronoun bank to me, him, her, us, them.
So we've covered the core problem, the logic, the rules, and we've heavily drilled it. What exactly does the outro of our source material tell us about where all this leads? What's the practical application?
The outro gives us a very specific, highly practical application for this grammar. It explicitly mentions orders or imperatives.
Imperatives? I mean, that sounds super intense.
It does sound a bit military, I grant you, but it's really just everyday instruction. Call him. Help me. Tell them. When you start a sentence directly with the verb, you are giving a command. And in commands, the target pronoun is absolutely essential.
Oh, right, because you don't usually command a subject. You don't look at someone and say, he call. You look at them and say, call him.
Exactly. In an imperative, the subject is silently implied. It's always you, but the target must be explicit. And this is quite often where these pronouns are the most useful in daily survival English. Help me. Stop it. Invite them. These are short, incredibly punchy sentences that rely entirely on getting that target word correct.
So your homework basically is to start noticing these tiny commands in your real life. When you watch a movie, when you listen to music on the radio, like, hit me baby one more time. Britney Spears definitely knew her object pronouns.
She certainly did.
Yeah.
Hit I baby would not have charted nearly as well, I suspect.
No, it definitely wouldn't have. Hit I baby. That's just terrible. It really hurts the ears.
So the immediate application for you, the listener, is to practice these short command phrases constantly. Text him. Ask her. Wait for us. It's a brilliant way to practice because the sentences are so short, allowing you to focus your entirely mental bandwidth on the pronoun itself.
And the source material actually teases the next deep dive we have lined up, which is appropriately titled The Command. So it really seems like we are setting the stage for learning how to be just a little bit more bossy in English.
Or perhaps just vastly more direct and clear.
Yeah.
But yes, Episode 37 will build directly upon this foundation we've laid today. You simply cannot give a good, clear command if you don't know exactly who you are commanding or who the target of the action is.
It all connects so perfectly. I just love how structured this material is. It feels like we're literally building a house from the ground up. Today we poured the concrete foundation for the target room.
We did indeed. And I want to leave you with one final lingering thought on the M rule because I truly think it's the most valuable, sticky idea you can take away from this session.
Yeah, let's definitely bring it back to the M before we wrap up.
We quite often struggle distinguishing between him and her because in many other languages, grammatical gender simply doesn't operate the same way. But if you can physically associate the closed mouth, the literal sound, with the masculine word him, it creates that powerful somatic marker. It's no longer just an abstract rule floating in your head. It's a tangible physical feeling in your lips. You must use your physical body to help your brain learn.
That is just such a cool concept to me. Somatic markers. Literally using your body as a cheat sheet. So when you see a guy you want to talk about, just think, wait, actually, that sounds a little wrong.
Context always matters, of course.
Uh-huh.
But yes, grammatically speaking, when you are talking about him as a target, physically use the M.
Got it. Okay, well, this has been an absolutely fantastic deep dive into the real nuts and bolts of English today. I honestly feel so much sharper just talking through the logic of it.
It is always beneficial to polish the foundational basics. True language mastery is not about using fancy, obscure words. It is about executing the simple things perfectly, every single time.
Connection, not perfection, but hey, striving for a little perfection definitely doesn't hurt your chances.
Indeed, it does not.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. Go out there, see the wall, change your clothes, and hit the target. We'll definitely see you in the next one.
Goodbye, and keep practicing.